Greetings everybody, welcome back to AI War Fleet Command. Fatimix here as we continue the vanilla standard game. And I've gone ahead about 10 minutes. What I've basically done is just boosted up our defenses. If we look here in Deimos, we've got almost a full cap of our turrets in place. Not quite a full one, but we've got most of them in. And about half of a cap on the other planets outside of it. So we're a little more secure now. Just spent some time, saved up some metal, did all of that. And then I had to decide how I want to deal with Massalia, which is our next big target. And the thing that I was considering is we don't have a huge amount of knowledge, and I'm going to want to do some upgrades. If we think about where AI progress is going to go, we're going to take 3 more systems, it's going to give us at least 60 more, and then we're going to get the gradual increases over time as well. So we're going to be at like maybe 130. We're going to be about halfway to tech level 2. And I'd like to be at Mark II turrets by then. I'd like to have fortresses. I'd like to have a lot of things. But we also have to be able to handle the resistance here. There's a Mark I ion cannon, so our Mark I fleet ship's not going to be hugely useful. It's a Mark III planet with a barracks, so we're going to be looking at 250, 300 enemy ships, along with the various guard posts. Well, our current fleet would have a really hard time handling that. And then there's also the fact that we could invest in starships, but it makes a lot more sense to me to invest in the fleet ships because we're going to get this advanced factory. And so we're not going to get the advanced starship constructor for a while. And given how much everything costs, we really don't have enough knowledge to do all of that. If we look in Quayar, we're going to take a look at our science lab. And a couple things we're definitely going to need before we get there. We're going to run out of tractor beam turrets, so I'm going to get those. The Mark II level, Mark II grav turrets. So that takes out a couple thousand. I'm also definitely going to want, they don't cost that much, the Mark II flagship. So then what do we want to do in terms of upgrading our fleet ships so that we have a better shot at taking that on? In that assumption, we're still looking at, well, we're going to have to upgrade our turrets later, which I don't really like doing. I'd like to upgrade them now, but there's only so much we can do, and Massalia is going to be relatively tough to crack. I'd definitely like to get the parasites, so we'll go ahead and knock those out. And we're eventually going to want to upgrade our bombers. So, I mean, I thought about the space tanks. They're armored, but they're not that much more armored than the bombers. Overall, just generally like the bombers better. Pretty much always want to upgrade the bombers at some point. So that gives us 3 Mark II designs, which will get us a lot closer to where we need to be, although I'd still like more than that. So let's get those built. If we set up our flagship, and then our Mark II bombers and parasites. So if I work on getting those built, and it's going to churn through our metal fairly quickly doing this, I would still like to upgrade more, and the only real way I can do that is by doing a knowledge raid, because metal is not an issue, we just have to wait for more. If we look at our energy, okay, we're starting to go down on that, and we're going to be fairly close to maxing it out probably by the time we build all of these ships. And while I'm pondering all of that, we notice that we've got another wave coming in to Ixion. And I could send in our fleet to help, but I'm just kind of curious. We haven't gotten a proper test of them, how our new style defenses will handle that. So I'm just going to let those sort of go on their own. But I also want to see how much energy I've got left once I've built all of these. And I finished with the shipbuilding just before the wave at Ixion hit, so we'll just take a moment and see how that goes. Pretty obvious where it's going to come from. Okay, they're going to take out my metal harvesters, obviously. You can see the spider turrets just stopping them cold. And they do have a plasma siege. So, I mean, even though, yeah, see, they're going back. A bunch of their frigates going back, but the plasma siege is still coming. And this is one of the biggest threats to an early game situation. Because, I mean, at the beginner level, like, they start sending these on difficulty 6. You can see they didn't even get close. But I've, like, lost games on difficulty 6 just because they went by, you know, plasma siege comes in, goes by your tractor beams at the wormhole, and boom. But in this case, we were more than adequately defended. And these, like, they can't move. They can't escape. They can't do anything. And my sniper turrets will just gradually knock them out. Which is a lovely thing. They're just sort of stuck here while I shoot at them. So with 183,000 energy, I decided the next thing I want to do, I do still want to do a knowledge raid before I hit Massalia, but I want to take one more system, get a little bit more energy in, and then worry about that. So I'm going to hit Karen here, which is very weak overall. I mean, it's got one Mark 1 MLRS post, no force field, not much of anything. It's a Mark 1 planet. It's going to be a total pushover. I could just take everything in there and annihilate it, but given the situation, I think it makes a lot more sense to go the fast route. Just take my fast ships. So basically, once we arrive in here, almost 500 ships, fighters, bombers, parasites, some of my faster starships. And we're just going to make a beeline for their MLRS post, because that's the only thing they have. Of course, a low-level guard post, no threat at all. And then we're just going to take out their command station. Since they have a plasma siege, though, let's just regroup and take this a bit slower. There we go. Now I think we're ready to hit it. And if we notice over here, we have an MLRS. We didn't actually build any of those. That's one of the ones we just captured with the parasites. So we've got this extra little small bonus there. Alright, so Karen is in our pocket. We've got over 2,000 metal incoming. Our saving increasing. So now it's time to do our knowledge rating. And we're going to do this a little bit differently than we did it in the last game. Sort of the intelligent way here. And what we need is a mobile builder. There we go. You can build a whole bunch of these, but I never build that many. However, what we need here is to be able to build things that are not on our planet that we control. And the command stations are here, but we don't want to destroy the planet and put a command station up. We just want to be able to build some protection on it so we can do our hacking. We're not going to do it with ships this time primarily. So we've got the mobile builder there. We're going to need our hacker, of course. And then I'm going to bring along a bunch of engineer drones to help do the building of things faster. Okay, now we could take anything, but I'm just going to take the fleet that was in Karen, the fast stuff. And we're going to do a knowledge raid over here on Merapi. So we've got the fleet basically running interference. And I want to get everything else out this way. Come on. The mobile builder's nice and slow. And then they've got some starships in here. That's a zenith. They're causing us some problems. We've lost a fair number of ships here. There it goes. And now we're going to head off. And I just want to get out of range. Oh, look. More marauders. Okay, but if we move in here, we're going to have our hacker build the thing in this area. There's our mobile builder. And what we want to do is just build a bunch of turrets. Okay, so I didn't attempt to match this up precisely for ranges, but it's close. I got needlers, lasers, MLRS missile turrets, and spider turrets to take out anything's engines. I just want to build this, then I'm going to get rid of the fleet because I'm not going to need them once we get all this stuff built. Here comes the zenith. There we go. Now everything's in place. Let's see how this is going to work. So the fleet we're going to send back home. And we want to build our knowledge extractor. And here they come. They're going after our ships at first, but that's not going to last very long. And the other thing I want is a couple of remains rebuilders, so that if we whatever turrets we lose, can get reconstructed. And everybody was targeting that zenith, but now that that zenith is down, seem to be doing a lot better. You see, we've got all these coming in, but they're also all immobilized. So I think I want to put in some snipers to clear those out. This is a vorticular cutlass Whatever the heck that is that they keep sending in. Alright, they're sending 98 fighters and a starship to Deimos. I'm not at all worried about that. You can see our spiders are knocking out most of their ships before they can get into range, and the rest of the turrets seem to be doing quite effectively at cleaning everything up. This whole process, building turrets on the enemy planet, is known as beachheading. It's effective in a variety of situations, but this is one of the more common. Just using it to do hacking so that you don't put your fleet at risk, and also you can still use your fleet for other things while this is going on. We're a little over halfway done with our hack. You can see, of course, it's our first one of the game, so they're still at very low response level. Let's go see what happens on Deimos. Here they come in from the Frozenzen wormhole. Here's our turrets going to work. What do we have here? A flagship. We got some of them isolated over here due to our spiders. We've taken out everything nearby. And now we just gotta have our long-range turrets knock out the rest of them. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. Back in Merapi. Most of the way done with our hack. Not a whole lot has really changed, except they are gradually building up more and more ships here that are just sort of stuck and unable to move. But we'll be able to clean that up once we finish with the hack and there's not more being generated. And here's their post-hack response. You can see they're getting right in our business here, but we're cleaning them up, I think. This here is getting a little bit tense, so perhaps I should have built more turrets even. I think they're going to have a hard time taking all of them out. But I could be wrong. I think next time I definitely want to add some lightning further out. Some lightning and flak for area of effect. I didn't think I would need it here, but that proved to be possibly a bit off, although we are starting to clear them out. And now we've just got to repair here and knock out all of their long-range stuff, and we'll be fine. Okay, let's do some more research. Let's get those Mark III bombers. Oh, AI reprisals. How nice. Although we may not actually see it. But that shows they took out enough of our turrets over there to be an issue. And I don't think I can afford any more knowledge being spent. I think I'm going to need it to upgrade turrets and whatnot once we take Massalia. So, like, it's a balance thing here. What I want to do is get these bombers built. And then I think we're going to be in place. And I'm going to try to make the attack work. That will be coming next time. You can see we've got plenty of metal now. A decent amount of energy. We'll eventually be getting rid of these turrets to free up more. They're starting to move a little bit once they clear all of this out. And it'll be on to Calypso and Massalia. So thanks for watching. All of that coming up soon on AI War Fleet Command. We'll be back next time.